NAMLE friends. My name is Renee Hobbs, and I'm here to offer a workshop on algorithmic personalization and propaganda. Of course, this is a topic that's super relevant to the practice of media literacy education because today, new forms of information, entertainment, and persuasion are increasingly customized for us. So today I'm going to show you how you can give a 50-minute workshop on this topic, and then how you can engage in what we call anytime learning with your students to explore this topic in more depth. Let's get started, shall we? So, this political cartoon is a kind of an interesting one, isn't it? Here he is sitting in front of the computer, and it says, "Try new Yum Cola Max," and he's drinking Yum Cola, saying, "These targeted ads make me feel like I'm being watched." Ping! Another ad shows up. Protect your brain from intrusion with a tinfoil headwear, right? So they immediately detected his thinking it might be a conspiracy and served him up another ad. You know, one of the reasons why our fear and anxiety about algorithmic personalization is increasing is because companies are investing heavily in forms of surveillance like facial recognition and sentiment analysis to identify people's emotional responses. And of course, one of the pretty much now classic works on this topic is a book called The Age of Surveillance Capitalism by Shoshana Zuboff. And she really unpacks this idea that the data that we used to think of as exhaust, the data trails left by every keystroke, every action, every website we visit, that is actually the most valuable commodity that digital platforms can offer. And she writes, we should think about it as a resource that is exploited by platform companies. She writes, instead of mining the natural landscape, surveillance capitalists extract their raw material from human experience. So the reason why that is so profitable is because the ability to reliably predict your behavior is profitable, and the ability to control your behavior is a gold mine. Of course, platforms are increasingly designed in ways that are sticky, that seem to compel you to take actions. You know, you weren't intending to go clicking on all those links and watching all those videos, but there you found yourself doing them. So I'm showing you right now the resources of the learning path that I've created using the online platform Pathright. And I'm going to show you a little bit about the resources that are available to you here, and then invite you to click on the link that's in the program and explore these resources for yourselves, right? So the general format that I like to use in a workshop setting is to begin by doing an emotional check-in. So right now I'd like you to reflect a little bit about why is the topic of algorithmic personalization important to you? And what do you love and hate about algorithmic personalization in entertainment, journalism, and advertising? And is personalized content better or worse than non-personalized content? You'll see how we develop these three questions, and after you watch this recording, we'll get a chance to talk about those in more depth. The interactive activity of a workshop on algorithmic personalization can really be very profitably developed by using the Facebook ad library. So the way this part of the activity goes is that you'll view the demonstration video and then explore the Facebook ad library. You'll be looking for what kind of personalized propaganda can you find at that Facebook ad library, and what are the pros and cons of personalized propaganda. Then you'll work with a small group, basically to find an example of personalized propaganda from the Facebook ad library, and then compose a slide to share your example and comment on it. Well, why don't we do that right now? Let's first watch the video that demonstrates the Facebook ad library.
Okay, here I am at the Facebook ad library, and I'm looking at another example of political propaganda. Using the ad library, I can search for all kinds of advertising that's on Facebook. Let's take a look at this one from Donald J. Trump. There's no sound. Do you trust the mainstream media? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer now. And it wants me to sign up here. Okay, so the mainstream media has never been more dishonest. They only seek to undermine and insult. Please take our official mainstream media accountability survey by 9 p.m. tonight. Okay, so this ad started running on February 19th. It's not yet reached a whole lot of people. I'm looking at it just immediately after it's running. You can see it's reaching more people who are ages 55 and up, and definitely seeing it in Texas, but it looks like people are seeing it all over the country. I noticed up here at the top it says multiple versions of this ad. And so I'm going to click on that. Select from similar versions of this ad. So let's take a look at the other version of this ad. This ad also started running. Looks pretty much the same. But I see that it's targeted to Facebook users in only a few states, where the other one was targeted very broadly. This one seems to be targeted in Maryland, North Carolina, Louisiana, Iowa, and California. So we can see already that Donald Trump has spent $32 million on Facebook advertising. And it actually allows me to see the spending details, right? Oh, so there's different groups, right? Different groups that are being managed there. Okay, that is absolutely fascinating. Again, I think learning to explore the Facebook ad library as a way to teach about political advertising and propaganda, really a great opportunity. Try it out.
Okay, so in fact, we can go to the Facebook ad library, right? And we can search on all different kinds of topics. You can see we can look at housing or employment, elections, politics. We can look at all ads. We might even look at ads. Oh, check it out. There's a whole set of ads from the Black Lives Matter campaign, including one that's running right now. It looks like it's is it a t-shirt thing? It's a merchandise. It's a merchandise ad, right? And so let's see what we can learn about this. This ad has reached about 25 or 30,000 people. Definitely more women than men for sure. More Californians than other states. And now we can also see the different kinds of versions of this ad. This ad has multiple versions targeting multiple audiences, right? So the Facebook ad library is a really great way to explore what personalization looks like from the back end. The activity is to work with a partner, find an example of personalized propaganda, and then share the example and comment on it. And you know, I'm such a big fan of the shared Google slide deck, right? So I guess I'll just present this right now. So this is an example slide. So you find an ad, you find a little bit about information about the ad, and then you add some interesting information about what you learned about this particular ad and why it was algorithmically targeted. And you can, if you like, you can offer an interpretation or point of view. So you can see that some of my former students, right, have explored, well, the fearless patriot masks during the pandemic. And they predicted that white men and cops would like this mask, right? And they looked carefully at how it was targeted to men in Texas. Here's another, it looks like a political ad from Colorado. It was also an anti-mask post. And this learner is noticing the way that individual liberty is a theme that targets this particular region and this particular age bracket, right? And it goes on because lots of people have contributed to looking at personalized advertising, personalized information, and personalized persuasion. It's a really great resource, and you're invited to add your slide to the list. This is a great activity. When we come back from doing something like that, we've got a lot more knowledge about how personalization works. We're starting to think about personalization in different forms, in persuasion, in information, in advertising, and whatever our love-hate relationship is. We've got we've had more time to think about this topic through this activity-based learning. You know what a big fan I am of Create to Learn. All right, so this is a perfect kind of workshop to use if you only have 50 minutes or an hour, because it's hands-on, it models digital literacy practices. I have to tell you, it works, and it creates a really great opportunity for content, but for discussing about algorithmic personalization. But now I want to show you some of the other resources that I've made available to you here. When you sign up for this path, I've also provided a little deeper dive on these topics in this path that's called Anytime Learning. This is a set of learning activities that you might want to use in a face-to-face classroom, and you certainly could do that, I think, pretty well. But these are also really designed for digital learning that the learner is controlling herself, starting with our inquiry questions. Why does my friend's Netflix look so different from mine at home? Why does news show up on my Facebook feed? And when I do online shopping with my grandma's computer, why is it so different from when I'm using my cell phone? So the titans of surveillance capitalism have given us a lot to think about. And Eli Pariser first wrote about this concept, which he called the filter bubbles, over 10 years ago now. Increasingly online, he wrote, it's becoming impossible to escape your own point of view. Mark Zuckerberg wrote, a squirrel dying in front of your house might be more relevant to your interests right now than people dying in Africa. And Eric Schmidt of Google fame wrote, it will be very hard for people to watch or consume something that has not been tailored for them. The implications of these quotes is worth a conversation. And it's worth a conversation because we do have this complicated love-hate relationship with the affordances of algorithmic personalization, as well as its profound limitations. And since time immemorial, media literacy educators have talked about you as the product being manufactured, that phenomenon, the engine of media economics, is a great topic to explore in this path. So in this learning path, you get a chance to explore algorithmic personalization in 3 domains, and I provide a lot of cool interactive ways for you to explore. And I hope that you take a chance to explore these paths and offer some ideas about them. This platform uses a lot of really engaging interactive tools that makes digital learning an awful lot of fun. All right, well, so there you go. I've given you an introduction, and now we're ready for a conversation. In this form of anytime learning, we have our conversation using threaded discussion. Let me show you a little bit about how to do that. First, of course, I'd like you to explore the path, right? So take some time to watch the videos and to engage in the interactive learning activities, looking at algorithms in entertainment, personalized journalism, and algorithmic persuasion. As you move through these paths, we'll invite you to comment on these 2 questions. How might you introduce algorithmic personalization to learners in your context? And what are the pros and cons of personalized entertainment, journalism, and persuasion? When you click on, you'll see a traditional looking threaded discussion, but let's really have a discussion. I'll be coming by during the week of NAMLE, during the 3 days of NAMLE, to comment and respond and see what you have to say about this topic. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining me. I hope that we can continue to learn together about how to teach about algorithmic personalization as a form of propaganda that might be beneficial, that might be harmful, but that is definitely present in information, entertainment, and persuasion. Thanks again.